Losing your career in midlife feels like the end of the story. It can feel like the world is telling you you're too old, too late, or too stuck to change. But here's the truth. Midlife is not the end. It's the turning point where all your experience, perspective, and resilience combine to give you a superpower younger people don't yet have: the to reinvent with wisdom. Stick with me, because at the end, I'll share a bonus tip. A simple exercise to unlock your hidden skills you didn't even realize could launch your second act. I created a free guide just for you. It contains 5 shifts that will help you create stability and balance while you rebuild. It's short, it's practical, and it's designed for people exactly where you are now. Grab it in the description below. Welcome to Guts to Grace, where courage meets change. I'm Jane, and here we explore what it takes to face uncertainty with guts, and how to find grace in the middle of it. Because guts get you started, and grace carries you through. If you're rethinking your path or searching for your second act, this is your place to land, learn, and move forward. When you've invested decades in a career, it isn't just a paycheck. It's identity, security, and often self-worth. So when a job ends or when you decide you can't keep going in the same direction, it feels like you're losing more than work. You're losing who you are. This is why reinvention feels so heavy at first, because we confuse change in our role with change in our value. But they're not the same thing. Your worth is not attached to a title, a paycheck, or a set of tasks. Think about how many times you've already reinvented without realizing it. The fresh graduate you once were is not the same as the parent you became, the manager you grew into, or the community member you are today. Life has already asked you to shift, adapt, and grow. And you've done it. This next reinvention is simply another step in that journey. Take Maria, a nurse who felt devastated when health issues forced her out of hospital work. At first, she thought she'd lost her purpose. But as she began consulting part-time for a nonprofit health clinic, she discovered she could still use her expertise, just in a way that fit her new reality. Think about this. Your previous career has ended. What skills or experiences can go with you into your next chapter? By the time you reach midlife, you've built up something younger professionals don't yet have: resilience, problem solving, and perspective. It's easy to underestimate these qualities because they feel like just life. But they are, in fact, your second act superpowers. You've weathered crises. You've navigated layoffs, illness, moves, and family changes. And through all that, you've learned how to adapt, improvise, and keep going. Those abilities don't show up on a resume, but they're exactly what make you valuable in a second act. You also know what doesn't work for you. In your 20s, you might have accepted jobs or commitments that drained you. In your 40s, 50s, or 60s, you have the clarity to say no faster. And that clarity saves years of wasted time. Take Kevin. After 25 years in corporate sales, his department downsized. Instead of scrambling for the same role somewhere else, he leveraged his negotiation skills to start a small consulting business, helping entrepreneurs secure better supplier contracts. He didn't start from scratch. He carried over his expertise, and suddenly his job loss turned into a business launch. What's one ability you've honed over the years? Patience, leadership, negotiation, problem solving, that could power a new second act for you. And remember, if you're navigating this transition, I put together a free guide to help you find balance. It walks you through 5 shifts that can help you steady yourself. While you build your second act, you can grab it in the description below. One myth about reinvention is that you have to throw everything away and start from zero. That idea paralyzes people because it makes change look too big, too expensive, and too risky. The truth is, most successful reinventions begin as experiments, a class, a side project, a volunteer role, something that lets you test drive a new direction without blowing up your life. This approach also builds confidence. Instead of a single high-stakes leap, you create a series of small steps. Each one gives you feedback, momentum, and courage. Laura, a midlife teacher, didn't quit her job overnight. She started by offering weekend workshops on creative writing. Over time, those workshops grew into a small online course and eventually into a coaching practice she loves. Her reinvention began with a toe in the water, not a leap off a cliff. And here's the key. Even if one experiment doesn't work out, you haven't lost anything. You've gained clarity. Each attempt shows you what fits and what doesn't, and that information is gold for shaping your second act. What's one small experiment you could try this month? A side project, a class, a freelance gig? That might point you toward your next chapter. The power of a second act isn't just about what you do for work. It's about how your work fits into the life you actually want to live. Midlife is a chance to pause and ask, what does success mean to me now? Is it more money, or is it more time with people I love? Is it climbing higher, or is it finally stepping off the treadmill and creating space for health, travel, or purpose? James, an IT manager, realized his old pattern of 60-hour weeks wasn't sustainable. When his job ended, he shifted into contract work at 30 hours a week. The pay was modestly lower, but the trade-off gave him time to volunteer, travel, and reconnect with family. And he calls it the best decision of his life. Reinvention in midlife isn't about squeezing more hours into the day. It's about designing a life that aligns with your values and letting your career serve that life, not dominate it. If you could redesign your work-life balance from scratch, what would you protect first? Time, energy, or purpose? Here's that bonus tip. Make a hidden skills inventory. Take a notebook and write down 3 things people often thank you for. These are usually the very abilities that can spark a powerful second act. We overlook them because they feel natural, but that's the point. Your natural strengths are your superpowers. So, what's your second act? What's one strength you already have that could become a superpower in your reinvention? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear your answer. Now that you're on the way to creating your second act, you'll want to learn how to build stability with less stress. When you combine it with what you just learned in this video, it's going to be way more compelling. The next video in this series is waiting for you. You'll see it right on your screen at the end. It's the natural next step in building your life with less stress. This is Jane with Guts to Grace. Thanks for spending time with me. I love knowing that we're figuring this out together, step by step. reminding you that every step takes guts and every journey is sustained by grace. I'll see you in the next video.